funny on Tuesday. Our DM was like, "You are cordially invited, like this character, and the rest, and the others." Like, oh, all the rest.
It's just me and
thanks.
your character.
All right. As your team explores and wanders forwards, you can tell that a few things are certain. As you delve into the minds of whatever this place is, you know that this is considered a wild territory. For what purposes or another, entering inside gives you and delves into the mysterious strangeness of the world, of what could be the Feywild, as this was considered a wildland shaped by the Fey magic itself. You didn't exactly know what to expect as you tried to get out of the Underdark. As you make your way here, given the path, the information that you've been guided with, this is the shortest route but the most dangerous route, as you don't know what to expect. And when you entered inside, it looks as if you're outside now. But unfortunately, you feel like something is off. You're not exactly sure where you are. When you look back to the place you were, all you see is road. It's possible that you are outside right now, but that also is a problem since you don't really know where you are. But you do know one thing, as I think Kobo made this Arcana check, or someone did. Doesn't matter. You have the information. When you felt the ground, felt the sensations around you, you felt the world shift, but stay in the same exact place, as if 2 points in space and time are the same, just in different places. It's a weird sensation. You know you're outside, but you also know you're not. But beyond that, you then came across 2 very big dogs. The dogs in question, luckily enough, weren't bad. They were just considered hunting dogs. With that in mind, you decided not to attack them and appease their sensibilities. You were given information not to go to the village that's nearby, as the dogs are about 5 times your size, so who knows how big the people would be. So with that in mind, you continue down the road to see where that rabbit hole goes. And in the distance, you do see the dogs get whistled back by a very, very big giant. You're not sure if they're a leader of the town, you're not sure if they're just a common folk in the area. But going into that village will likely be very dangerous, since I think the tallest in your group is 5'7" and is an NPC. So not looking back, you wander your way forwards, and this is where we are now.
I see you.
As you begin to wander and explore, you can tell that the area is safe for now. Luckily enough, this environment shifted and changed once more to a streaky one. Examining the area, you can tell that the flora and fauna have been eroded by non-environmental hazards. The road itself does seem to be paved with what appears to be wheel tracks. So you can tell that people have basically plundered this land and then moved whatever they found into different locations. Right now you're on this road, but if anyone wants to check how fresh it is, you can.
Can we check how big it is?
Like the wheel tracks?
Yeah, is it like a huge
Giant size
cart?
versus...
Yeah.
You can tell that whatever this thing is was like a giant cart. The width expanse of what may be 3 of you. Like, it's obviously an apparent that it'd be about the same size as 3 of you, side to side. Like this.
What do we need to roll to see
Pretty
how
big
long
cart
ago they were made?
Just a simple investigation check.
I'll help you if you want to roll with your manager.
Oh, sorry.
With a 12, you can tell.
Did you want to roll again?
Is it just advantage?
Yeah,
Oh,
helping
if-
someone gives you advantage, unless you have like something else that can modify it.
Investigation.
Yeah, with a 12, you can tell that the wheel tracks are old. Not ancient, but old. You're not exactly sure the date point in time, but older than a week, fresher than a month.
Okay.
So it's clear to you that people don't follow down this road that often, just from time to time. You're not sure when the next time will be, but it's probably not soon.
Okay. I'll relay that to you guys.
Yeah, I say we keep moving. No sense in just sitting here.
Okay.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea at all.
You want to keep to the shadows, sort of a thing.
Yeah. If this is a big road, can we stay like closer to the foliage on one side or another? That way we can very readily hide if anybody's coming.
Yeah. Just choose a side.
The rightmost.
The left mo- No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I grabbed you by accident. Sorry.
Oh no, I moved myself.
Oh, that was just timing.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna roll stealth. I forget, can I just roll my steed stealth, or do we both have to?
You're still riding your steed, so it would be your steed stealth.
Anhauser.
Not bad. Why was Antidote moved so far away?
It looked like he decided to because it stopped and then moved back a little further.
Antidote's had enough of our shenanigans. And we make our way down here all... Oh boy.
Oh, that's just Antidote stealth. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Stealthy?
Just
Oh, do
roll
we
the
all
wild.
have to roll stealth?
If you're going into stealth. If you're not, you're just following down one path and not intervening.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a good thing I went first, because I was stealthy.
It seems that Toulouse and Roswin are fine. Antidote is just barely seen by the rest of you. Luckily enough, this is just a group check since you're traveling in a group, so the 11 doesn't
Build.
kill everyone.
God.
I'm trying to be sneaky. I'm just going dun 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 dun
He's like,
dun.
wait a minute,
Da-da-da.
stop that. We're trying to be stinky.
I am being sneaky. Dun, dun,
No,
da-da-da-da.
that's not.
Kobo's
That's
just
why we were
rolling a lot.
alive.
Like in the open, you're just doing a roll, and then like, dun dun dun, roll.
Starts to say roll.
Alright, so, Gothos, while you're looking around, making sure everything's stealthy, you can tell that there's a wild weasel coming out of the woods, and then just bolts to the other side.
No.
Is it? Do I think it's running from us or something else?
Possibly something else. This is the wilderness, after all. Although it's also underground, but you don't think about that. You can roll nature to decide what to do, but you can also tell that another weasel comes out and rushes forwards.
Are these regular size weasels?
About your size. So
So the size.
pretty big.
Okay, yeah. I got a 18 on nature.
From what you can tell, this type of pattern, this type of system, when animals run out of different locations, often than not leads to predator attacks. The smallest rodents or the smallest animals usually are the ones to bolt first, since they are the likeliest to die with a good snap of a jaw. Meaning there's likely a predator around. You're in stealth right now, but that doesn't mean the predator won't be able to see you.
Okay. Okay, so something is hunting weasels roughly the same size as us.
Something
great.
is hunting animals in the area, not just probably weasels. It's just you
Point
seeing
being that the
some.
weasels are the same size we are, so we're also on the menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe Kobo or Rosman, you got any more sense of where, like another portal thingy might be, or should we just keep going?
Um,
I mean, you guys are like the magic people. I don't really have a sense of that.
yeah, I was going to say, did we get any better directions on how to get through? I don't have much in the way of notes. I thought Roswell wrote it down.
Your general notes were to kill that one guy.
Oh no, that was from the hag lady. Yeah.
Yeah. Your general notes was to kill that one guy. When he
Which we
died,
did.
he'll produce a strange variant plant that you would have to use to concoct something, and that would help you get through this. You didn't have no idea, so just kind of just barreling through.
I thought we were heading east to go find the Mushroom City.
Yes, going through here will reach the Mushroom City, as well as its portal. But getting through is the issue, since you don't really know where you're going.
I was going to say, wait a second. Didn't we get some directions from the dogs? They told us to go in a specific direction and away from the town.
That's
East.
why we're going
Okay.
in this direction.
Yeah.
So I was just asking if either the Mar magic users could help us along, or we just following the road.
I can try. Give me a sec. What do we think it might be there? Maybe Arcana? Or
That's the deal.
Bit of magic.
Yeah,
If you're trying
that's
to
what
feel the area, it'd be more nature.
Okay.
Although it is Arcanic, so I can see a Arcana check if you prefer.
Okay. They're both pretty bad for me, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
Sorcerer! Oh, natural 20.
Ah!
Yes.
Sorcerer powers ignite!
Okay. On the natural 20, you see a tiger come out of the woods. Bolt. But that's neither here or there. Anyways, focusing on the area, trying to commune with nature itself, then realizing nature itself is messing with you, you come to the realization that a path generally leads to an end, generally leads to a location. The dogs told you to go this way, and you're currently following that. The path will lead you to a different location where you might have a checkpoint area, which will lead to a different location or destination. However, getting there is the main problem, as you don't really know where to go. But following the path will likely lead you to your location. It's just surviving through that long ordeal may be the issue. So when you commune with the world trying to connect you, you can tell you're going the right way. You just don't know how dangerous the right way will be, either due to the physical manifestation of the world changing, or the dangers present all around you.
I'm really enjoying how after your I don't want to railroad your speech, you're spending a long time being like, follow the tracks to leave.
You got a natural 20.
What?
That's what you feel. That's what sounds true.
Okay.
You can go a different direction all you want. There's actually a few things planned in case you guys don't go this way, but this way is the clearest way you feel is correct.
All right, I kind of walk up and put one hand on Gotho's shoulder, and I close my eyes. And I say, I sense our path lies that way. We better keep going.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, everyone keep it down. I feel like those weasels the size of us were being hunted. So, watch out.
Okay.
As you get closer, you see a snake bolting through.
That's their pathway.
Kinda. But so far, so good. No one has been attacked. Thankfully enough, Kobo has communed with the world, so you kind of railroaded yourselves in knowing the right direction. All right. Everyone, go ahead and roll for me one perception check.
Good boy. Jesus.
There's a stick here. It's a stick.
I'm still wearing my sunglasses. Look at that sky. It's like blue. When did they stop making sky out of rocks?
What's Rosalind's modifier? Oh,
Not enough to save us all.
It'd be 15 for her roll. It's pretty close, but it's not quite there. So, as you wander through, almost getting to the main end entrance, you can tell that something is heading your way. Something feels wrong. Everyone go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw. As what appears to be a giant... Oops, not yet. That one was formatted incorrectly. As a giant dinosaur barrels through the area you just came across.
So again, my steed or both of us?
Your steed. If your steed fails, you both get hit.
I need to make
You know
one
what?
too.
They're the exact same, so I don't know why I bother.
I think I need to luck that. I'm gonna get trampled.
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
Should be pretty good at those.
I'm okay at them.
+8.
Yeah, no, I'm destined to get hit.
No. I don't think I rolled well enough
In
to
one
save
level,
anyone
you
this
guys.
time.
As soon as we hit level 6.
Giant dinosaur seems to be hunting the area, or you assume, based on the animals and their pathways, they seem to be going about. However, as they went through, you can tell that this dinosaur more or less is barreling through, maybe to catch up, maybe to eat them. Regardless of that, they do hit you guys and deal 2d6 points of damage.
All of us?
You all take 7. Gothos and Toulouse, you reduce that by half, so you only take 3. Let's see, Roswin... Gets reduced to 3, and antidote failed. So when the dinosaur barrels through, you can tell that it turns on a dime as much as it can and begins to charge towards you guys. I want everyone to go ahead and roll turn order.
Where did I go?
Right there.
I only see Tannhauser, but we'll be the same.
I mean, I can delete you. And
Well, I
then
can't see
bring
my
it back.
I can't see my token to click on it. Yeah.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why it's blank though.
I'll enter. The only time I ever wish I had a bigger screen is when I'm trying to.
Okay. Dino's turn. Dino gets 15. Antidote and Roz win.
Rosman casts polymorph. Fight over. Yep.
All right, Toulouse, you're up first. Looking about you, you can tell that the dino turns back to your group and is ready to charge once again. Unlike the dogs, this thing is just itching for a fight or maybe a meal.
Okay. I want to use my can. Is it a cantrip for this? Because I'm an arcade trickster. I forget how this works. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I want to use my Toll of the Dead cantrip.
Alright, one action, 60 feet. It's within 60 feet. That's not an issue. Vocal and somatic. Dun dun dun. Duration, instantaneous. You point at a creature you can see within range, and sound of dolorous spells fills the air around it for a moment. The target must succeed a wisdom save or take 1d8 necrotic damage. If the target is missing any of its hit points, it instead takes 1d12 necrotic damage. Higher levels, higher damage. Wisdom save. That's a 6, so it probably fails.
Yeah. Save is 13, says right there.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I roll, because I'm 5th level, so I roll 2d8 or 2d...
No, it means if you cast it at a higher level.
No, it's a cantrip, so it's at the...
Oh, when you
it's
reach
the
5th level. Yeah. That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, Talisha, you're correct. 2d8.
So I roll 2d8 or 2d12. Why does it say both?
Okay, so
It's
the 2d12 is if it
because-
has already been damaged.
Oh,
which
got
at this
you.
point it has
I
been
did hear that. I need to set up a thing for this still, so I'm going to do it like this. /R.
space.
Spell? Space 2d8.
8.
8. And enter. Did I do it right? Yeah, I did.
Pretty good rolls. With necrotic damage bursting into the air, you can feel the dino getting hit. It takes a good amount of damage, but it doesn't go down. You can tell, however, it is maybe 1/8 of its health or 2/8. It's pretty sturdy.
And do I get... So that was my action, so I can't attack anymore, right?
You can throw your second dagger, but that's about it.
Dagger number 2. Dagger number 2 coming up. I just whacked it in the back of the head, and I'm like, oh,
That does hit.
yay. And look, I got that set up. Yay. Oh, well, that's good.
With a quick whip of your hand, you slash in and sink the blade in. Not for a lot of damage, but for some. With that in mind, the dino looks around, seeing who's the most dangerous. Toulouse, you do seem the most dangerous, so it'll likely not attack you. This is an animal. It wouldn't go for something that is quite literally causing it damage. I don't want to hit Roslyn while she's not here.
Bring it on. Tasty spider over here.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with Gothos. So with the quick movement, it rushes straight for Gothos with a very big and sturdy horn attack. I roll 13, probably misses.
That's correct.
Okay. Does it miss your bug?
I'm gonna have to look at the rules because I might be able to force it to attack me, but it does miss the bug as well.
Cool.
Bug is 14.
Figure out those rules in a little bit. The horns rush straight towards you, try to impale you, but luckily enough, you're able to move out of the way. With Rosalind in tow, she moves further back, which is something I feel like she would do. Here. With that movement, she will probably cast a cantrip. Firebolt. Roll a natural 1. She looks straight at it, points what seems like a loaded finger gun straight towards it, shoots, and all that pops out is smoke and air. Got
She
this.
sneezes. It turns out she's allergic to dinosaurs.
Ooh, can you imagine? All those
No
feathers.
yeah. So I think the way this works is I'm going to cast Wrathful Smite as my bonus action. So the next time I hit someone, that should happen.
Mm-hmm.
I have it set up weirdly. So I'm going to attack the thing. 25.
Does hit.
And so it has to pass a DC 16 Wisdom save or become frightened and take 9 damage.
Yeah. For sure. Is the activating of Wrathful Smite a bonus action? I'm assuming it is.
Yeah, so I do the bonus action spellcast Wrathful Smite and then attack.
Just making sure.
I have it set up weirdly.
Unfortunately, this
Paladin.
thing isn't the wisest. So with the +1, actually, the +1 is actually considered wise. Just not great.
It's a wise old dino.
With the +1, it gets an 8, so when you slash into it, it immediately becomes frightened of you. It cannot go forwards towards you. It can still do long range attacks or attack where it currently is. What are the unbeneficial things other than it can't move forwards?
It has disadvantage on all attacks so long as it can see me.
On attacks or just attacks against you?
I'm pretty sure it's all attacks. I really should have this written down somewhere, considering it's like the cornerstone of my freaking character. I've just literally never done it before.
Is your enchantment broken if the creature takes damage again?
I am googling that shit right now. I should have it. Yeah. And ability checks. Well, it's in my line of sight, so I was correct.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna check real quick if it gets to check when it takes damage. I won't do this, but otherwise I'll slap it on the butt with my sword. Go on, get out of here.
All right. 24.
No, it
also
doesn't say
hits.
anything about it, so it can take damage.
With your sword, you smash into it, render through, and then you render through again. You can tell that this creature is maybe 4/8 of the way down, which would be considered bloodied. So with that in mind, you can tell that this thing is takeable. It's just very big and very dangerous if it hits. Anything else, Gothis?
No, I'll leave it be because I can. I guess can I hold Tannhauser's action to attack if it attacks us? But otherwise, I'm done.
Okay. Cubbo.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use my bonus action to summon Shadow Blade And I'm going to waltz right on up and give her a big old slice.
Murder this. This is why I never fear him.
Whammo!
All right, 25 does in fact hit.
Teen psychic damage.
Ooh, getting fancy. With a quick movement, you slash in with the Shadow Blade, sink in, and with psionic force, bash and barrel through. You can tell that you've officially considered it. You officially hit the bloodied mark and went a little bit over. You can tell that this thing is vaguely hurt, if not very hurt, and for some reason very afraid of Gothos. For some
Because
reason.
I am fearsome and mighty.
Fearsome and tiny, maybe.
You shall rule the day.
No, that would be it for me.
All right. You go over here. That's his turn. Telus.
So with that cantrip, is it something that I can use every time, or just that one? I forget how that works.
With a cantrip, you can use it multiple times, so long as there's like nothing that says you can only use this once a round, once a combat, until a long rest, short rest. That cantrip you're using specifically, though, doesn't have those specifics, so you can use it as many times as you want. Once a round, though.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and use it again. It worked pretty good the first time.
I like how you keep attacking this thing with wisdom saves. That's an
Well,
11.
Mine's 13.
Yeah.
Minus 2d8.
It fails, so 2d8.
Oops, I did that backwards. There we go. Now it's a question mark.
Alright, pretty good. With another toss of your Toll of the Dead, more of its skin turns black, bloody, and bruised. Even more so than Kobold and Gothos have been doing to it. Especially Gothos. It does feel the pain, it does get hurt, and you can tell that it's roughly around close to death, but not quite there.
Did I have
2d12s now. It's not the 8s,
second
it's
dagger?
2d12s.
Oh, that's right! Roll that damage again.
It's 2d12s because it's been damaged.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Thank you for catching that. /R 2d12.
Watch, you get...
Huh.
I was going to say
Like
worse,
that.
but you got it
I
exactly
got
the same.
one more damage.
Okay.
Then my
Same
second dagger
description,
only did
just a little bit more hurt.
Okay.
So how many daggers do you have?
I have a pile of daggers that I've been collecting over time, but I
Yeah.
have dagger my first attack, and then I have
I was just
Dagger.
asking because you're throwing them, right?
yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
hopefully we kill him so I can get him back.
Yes. Toulouse has like a handful of daggers and like a whole bunch of shanks you guys made.
Yeah.
It's like, how many daggers do you have? Smash got to
Just gotta-
like opening the cloak kind of a thing. Like,
This dagger's stuck everywhere on me.
I've personally been able to collect 7 daggers and 1 fork shiv, so if you run out, I've got a few extras for you.
Nice.
Uh,
I've got like 3 swords.
Speaking of shanking implements, the Dino turns around going for an attack against Gothos, giving the bug its turn to shine. Unless you don't want to take the attack.
Yeah. Hacha!
That is not hit.
Right.
As
Well,
your
its
bug
attack
just
is at
tries to bite.
disadvantage because it's frightened of me.
Yeah. Swinging in with its tail. Its tail's modifier is not great, but not bad. Disadvantage 11 misses. So when
Mrs.
turning
Both.
around, the tail swing. Yep. You have an AC higher than 17?
No, but disadvantage. Misses us both.
Oh, misses you both, not both rolls miss. That's my bad.
Oh, both rolls miss me, but not Tanner.
Whatever. Anyways, Dino turns around, tries to swing with you in the tail, misses, and then charges Kobo for a goring attack. Kobo, I want you to go ahead and make a dex saving throw.
Ooh, okay. I think
I'll roll another
do anything
6.
about that.
Okay, 5. Woohoo! I am hot tonight.
Okay. To the back. This creature rushes in and embeds its horns straight through you. Much like if you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z, Frieza does in third form to Krillin. It hurts. It won't probably kill you, but it definitely does hurt.
It hurts your body.
There's no AC, it's just a dex check.
It's
too big
unfortunate.
to
It's
dodge.
very big. It's like, how should I explain this? It's like
Just getting out of the way and
getting out of the way before you get hit. Like, if there's a giant and they're going to put their foot down, it's running out before you get hit, or you get hit.
I'm just doing bad at that today.
Oh, I rolled well except for one.
I see that.
And almost never happens.
Average is 17.
Wow.
That's
So the
pretty
creature
good.
gores into you for 23 points of damage, and you are considered restrained. You can still attack, and you can try to move yourself off, but in order for you to basically move during your turn, you'll have to spend your action or find some other way, maybe, to get yourself out of the horn's grasp.
Okay.
Roswin's turn. Does she have, like, healing?
Fun little side note, horn is slang for penis in a lot of rural Canadian communities.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be? I don't want to spend spell slots, but I feel like that's what she would do. Yeah. I think I clicked it. Oh, there we go. Roswin just shouts out at you, Kobo, you don't understand, you're in a lot of pain, but you get healed for 10 points. Oh, it's touch. Oh, darn it. Okay, she runs over towards you, slaps you on the back, and then goes back. Got this.
Cha-cha-cha-cha. Alright, I guess we're killing this thing. Said it was in pretty rough shape, right? Let's see if this takes it.
It's in pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
Like, your team's been whacking at it pretty heavily. It's been failing most of its attacks. Except apparently one.
14 damage. And I'll lay a Fury of the Small in there for an additional 5.
Okay.
Still up?
Your blade sinks in, and with your own movement of your body, you twist the blade and sink it in further and draw it out. You can tell that it's on its last legs, limping around, trying to move, but it really can't. Which is great, because if it tried to move, Gothos might get hurt. Not Gothos. Kobo might get hurt. It's on its last legs, both physically and metaphorically.
Try to maintain... second attack. 18.
18 definitely hits. This thing has an AC of 16.
Okay. With a piddly little 5.
With the secondary attack, you slash in and bury your blade. You try to twist, try to move, get more damage in, but it's not enough to bring this giant house down. So with that last attack, you draw it out, but it still, if barely, remains. Anything else?
I think I'm good.
Alright.
I'm trying to maintain. We don't need to burn spell slots on this at this point, or I don't anyway. I'm a paladin.
True. Kobo.
All right, Kobo might have to burn a spell though.
You got way more of them than I do, and they recharge easier.
Okay. Using my bonus action first, I'm going to Misty Step out from underneath this thing to on its back. I'm assuming it's like quadrupedal, like a standard tyrant. Yeah.
Oh, and
Contours.
to be fair, Dogma, I should mention that at the end of its turn, it does get to. I think it gets to make a.
Probably
It's a wisdom.
Additional wisdom save.
No,
right?
it's not a wisdom save because this spell is very, very good. It's a wisdom check now, and it has disadvantage on it because it has disadvantage on spell checks or ability checks.
Oh, what do you know? I rolled a 5. I'm not good with wisdoms, dude. Give me something else. Okay, Kobo, luckily enough, your Misty Steps bring you out of the horn's grasp, brings you to its back.
And I sink in my Shadow Blade.
Okay, quite literally, if you at least do 2 damage, you'll bring it down. So at least do 2 damage.
Oh.
Alright, how do you want to take this thing down?
Had to because it's 2d8. So I had to roll at the very least 2 ones.
Yeah.
How are you gonna do it?
How are you gonna bring it down?
Just
Oh, okay. I was, underneath the thing, pinned on my back, and I just poof, teleport to right behind its head, right where that shield thing comes up. And as I appear up there, I just let the rest of my body mass fall that last half a foot and just sink the Shadow Blade straight down behind its head, right in the back of its neck. And it just drops as I lunge the final blow there.
With a quick movement of speed,
Bloodied
Honey,
and muddy.
and Shadow, sinking in the blade and moving about, the thing gets toppled over. Kobo rolls to the side, bloodied and bruised, but not all of the blood is his, thankfully enough. As the creature,
Oh, there's quite a bit. It's mine.
a lot of it's yours, don't get me wrong, just not all of it. As you roll to the side, making sure not to get hit, the creature falls, hits the ground motionless, and Kobo remains alive. If kind of barely. He's definitely hurt. You don't want to get attacked by another one of these things. But the creature is now considered dead, and combat is essentially over. Essentially. Everyone go ahead and roll for me another perception check with a +2.
ooh, 21 total.
Oh God.
19.
I'm not gonna have NPC as a Rosin roll because 2 of you got it. Gothos, Kobo, Toulouse, Gothos and Kobo noticed something. You just didn't notice it yourself. In the horizon line, both of you can tell that something is coming. Something is ready and primed to go in your direction. You don't know what it is, but you do know that this is likely the thing the creatures have been running away from. If the dino, whatever you might consider, it's a Triceratops, but maybe your character doesn't know that. Maybe it does. Don't know. Either way, this creature is big. Bigger than the dino, and something you likely don't want to attack unless you're primed and ready to go.
Not really. Trying to be clever. I want that horn.
You have some time, not a lot. You can definitely tell that you might be able to do 2 relative actions before you have to bolt or get ready for another attack.
Because I wanted to try to get some meat off of it for rations later.
And I don't really want to be cheap and use Rosalind's character when she's not here, but she's a transmutation wizard, right? So she could change something into something softer, we could hack it off, and then it would change back after a certain amount of time.
Depends on what material.
Dinosaur horn.
I don't think that qualifies.
Rats. Well, then I just want to try and hack off some.
Okay. Toulouse, go ahead and roll for me survival to try to do this quickly. Gothos, go ahead and roll me survival to get a horn. Toulouse, you're able to get a good chunk of meat off for 2 rations. Gothos, you try to barrel in your blade to get a good chunk of the horn in. You crack a good amount of it, but you have a piece that's roughly the size of a dagger.
Okay.
The rest of the horn that you just try to smash in is like basically brittle now due to the cracking. Kobo, what are you trying to do?
Oh, there's 2 horns left.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Triceratops, right?
Yes. Well, yes. Bringing your blade, slashing through. You do it quickly rather than brutal? Blunt. Let's just say blunt. Gothos is pretty blunt with that. Slicing through with a blade.
If you wanted blunt, I could have rolled strength.
No, this is a survival check. Regardless of that, you get a good sized chunk, roughly the size of a longsword horn. You don't get the base, but you do get most of it. The base itself is fine. You don't really need it. Maybe a natural 20 or a 20 would have gotten you that. But it's fine. It's a good size, good chunk, a good trophy or whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah, we all did a thing. I'm good to let's go now.
As we're getting ready to leave, and I'm kind of limping, going ow, ow, ow.
There you go. Yeah, all right.
You wanted a bigger piece, didn't you?
All right, I'll lay on a hand for how many you got? You down 15?
I'm at half right now. 20. Yeah.
I'll give you 17.
That works. Thank you.
I gotta leave a bit in reserve.
Oh, not a problem. And I with this great big club-sized horn over my shoulder is like, you were wanting a bigger piece than just that one, right?
Yeah, I feel like that might come in useful later because I don't have enough swords already. But yes.
And hand it over.
Oh, I thank you, but I think we should also go.
Yeah, we're leaving. As we're walking.
Okay. Like you can break stealth. This thing that's coming towards you, if you don't leave and run, you'll likely get trampled over. And Kobo, feeling that sensation before, likely doesn't want to. Thankfully enough,
we can break stealth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thankfully enough, you only caused one action to try to get things, and the secondary action can be used to basically bolt out of the area before this thing comes. So with that in mind, you guys do manage to get a far enough distance away.
Before we hear a tyrannic roar.
No, surprisingly enough, you don't hear a tyrannical roar. Looking behind you, looking back, you try to see what this creature is. Try to notice the patterns, the depiction, in case you had to fight it, in case you had to run away from it again. You don't hear a roar, you don't hear a strange, guttural sound. But you do see something you kind of don't want to see. In the horizon line, you can tell, not this size, that what appears to be a giant bug-like entity, but not actual bug, comes out of the forest, the size of roughly 10 to 15 times your own size. In comparison, the Triceratops was 4 times your size, so 10 to 15 is even bigger than that. As it roams out, it sinks its teeth into the dino, and basically renders it in half. Maybe it wouldn't be so threatening if it was alive, but it's definitely a concern. As you just get out of there.
Just ran away.
As you begin to move the path, you can tell that the grooves the wheels would have made, everything like that, does end at this cave system. Either means that they don't go inside for their own reasons or another, or perhaps that the floor itself might be a little stronger here.
They disappear inside a magic portal.
Potentially. But you can tell that the wheels end, the wheel tracks end here.
Can I toss a rock into the area where the tracks end?
Yeah, you're like right on where the tracks would end. So when you toss a rock in the area, having it roll like 10 feet in front of you, nothing happens.
Good enough for me. Passes the old rock test.
So we're gonna go into the cave or around here? Is this a cave in front of us?
There is a cave system in front of you. You're not sure how deep or where it goes. But you do know that the cave, it does have like stepping stone platform areas where you could just go over the cave if you decided to.
We should get a look what's above the cave. I mean, we were supposed to follow this way to try and get out. Technically, this is an out, but if it's not our out.
Well, it's also, does the cave look like giants would be able to fit into it?
No, surprisingly enough, the cave system seems smaller than for a giant, but definitely bigger than a medium-sized creature. It would be uncomfortable. The giants would have to hunch down, but any medium-sized creature could fit in and like have one or two other people on their shoulders.
And that snaky, serpenty bug thing we saw wouldn't be able to follow us in there, would it?
It's thankfully enough, and also maybe not thankfully enough, too big.
I mean, I'm down for checking out the top, but I like that big things can't fit into that cave. We are just looking for a teleporter out of here, so maybe it's hidden in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, and the road does lead here, so can we abuse a character again or no?
It depends on what you're trying to do.
Can we have Roswin send her familiar up to see what's up above this, like the stepping stones you were describing?
Yeah, that's I can see her doing that. The bird flies up into the sky where the stepping stones would be. I forgot why I made it so... Oh, so it looked like it'd be on her shoulder. It's not this big, I just needed it to grow. So it hovers, goes over the area, comes back. Because it's familiar, it can communicate with Roswin. So when it comes back, you can tell that there's a horizon... Roswin tells you that there's a horizon line in the distance that feels wrong.
Feels wrong?
Yeah. She tries to get more information from the bird, but the bird itself, it's a familiar. It'd have more than an intellect of an actual owl. States feels unnatural or feels as if it's the end of the road. Roswin then likely interprets it as this is likely where the environmental structure of the place collapses, which is likely why there's a cave system here.
The caves then, based on that information. How about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's where those dogs told us to go. And
A little
based
sad
on what
about
we
having to go back. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, yeah, a little sad about having to go back under dark, sure, but also less
No, I'm
giant
just
things.
talking
flying
about the
through
sky, yeah. I was just talking about the sky. I'd never seen that before.
But this isn't the real. We know that much, at least, that it's not the real sky.
It's
I
not.
got that from
It's
the
a
little girl.
copy of the above world, but it's a very good copy.
Hmm.
We
Wait
gotta get
until you
this
see
guy.
the real one.
Yeah, we
Okay.
gotta get this guy out of here before he sees the night. He'll never want to leave.
Oh. I don't think night actually happens here, but I don't know why I think that. But yeah, it's to
You've
show
been
you the real sky.
you've been traveling for a few hours, and the sun actually has yet to change.
Hmm.
Maybe that's why.
Anyway, yeah, alright, let's, I say we go for it.
Okay.
Okay. Is anyone inspecting the area before you head inside?
I'll make a. What kind of a check or thingy would I?
Just perception to look around.
Okay. Perception.
Can all
No, I can
this-
say, I'll help her check too.
I mean, I roll again.
Yeah.
Perception. Oh, it was better the first time. Ignore that.
You thought those can perceive things. No, you can't.
Yeah.
Looking about you, you can tell, Gothos, that something feels wrong about the area. Something doesn't seem right. As you begin to examine and observe, you can tell this place might be a copy of the world above you.
There's something a little bit off, guys. I don't know what it is. I feel so.
Toulouse, once again, you can tell there's platforms in the area that you could come and move over and around, but the bird did mention that, going further beyond this point is where a dead end of the world will actually be. As this is a copy, there's only so much you could copy. So once you go past that main point in time, you're not exactly sure how safe you would be when you come across that area. You can tell, however, that the cave will enter into a place you know or are aware of, back into the Underdark. Or at least back into a place that you'll be safer and more aware of where you'll go. The platform can lead you somewhere else, it just might be somewhere you don't want to go.
I say, let's take the caves. Platform's gonna make us go somewhere dangerous, probably.
Okay.
More dangerous.
Forward ho!
Okay.
It works for me.
Oops, wrong tool. You can also tell that there's really no one or nothing big that goes into the cave systems.
That's good.
Okay. Your team heads back underground.
We're going deeper underground.
Well, maybe you just go back to the main point you started from.
No.
I take off my sunglasses and very carefully put them away. Got to use them for a little while.
Oh, they looked cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As you enter into the cave system, you can tell that there's a platformed area where you can go down. As you begin to descend in the area, I don't know why I just don't flip the maps. Give me a second. Nope. Wrong one. Doop. There we go. Now flip it one more time to get it right. There we go. Same description, you're just here now. You see water in the area. You see the area itself seems to be clean, just no presence of life around you other than the water, the moss, and the... I forget what they're called. Lily pads in the water. There doesn't seem to be another cave system open, or at least not one you're currently aware of, as you make it down to the ground.
Yeah, this is a nice little pond here. Why does it have all this green stuff in it? Is that growing in there somehow? Green stuff needs light, doesn't it?
That is true.
What do you got here? Magic pond?
Is there a light source that we're not readily noticing?
Looking
or
about
are
you,
these underdark type plants?
like you just entered inside this cave system, so when looking in, you can tell that it's low light. Looking at the waterfront, you can tell. Kobo, you kind of called it, sort of. The plants themselves do seem to be natural. An environment itself can house this, but looking at the water, it's a lot shinier than it should be. Yes, quite literally, maybe what people told you that what it's called, the sun is outside, so it would make sense that there's more light in the area. But the water itself is lighter and brighter than it should be. I'm giving you that one for free. You kind of just called it. You don't know why. You just know it's brighter.
Water glows.
You also, everyone, because he's not hiding it, see Antidote unclasps one of his sections on the mask. You see basically a test tube come out with like small tweezers. He brings in some of the plants from the area, like some of the moss, into the test tube, corks it, and puts it back in, and closes. You've seen him do this a couple times. It's not uncommon. It's just weird.
It's not a bad idea. Some super light water.
I was gonna say, how's about these berries or apples or whatever's on the ground here?
On the ground itself, you can tell that they are fruit. You're just not sure what kind. It kind of looks like a mixture of a... I was about to say tomato, but with the texture of a potato. However, it's a lot more bumpier, like a... I forget what the actual plant is called. Dragon fruit.
I think I'll take one of them. I don't
All right.
know if I'm gonna eat it yet, but just that's pretty neat.
You have one mystery fruit. Oh no, wait. Kobold's from the Underdark. He would know what this is. This is known as Manuna. It's not anything relatively dangerous. It's very potent. It's very strong. It has a lot of protein for some reason. You don't ask questions for that. It's considered a ration in itself. So you can eat a couple of these and you'll be fine. The area around you does seem to have 20 of these. And it does take like 3 to fill you up.
I'll go ahead and share that little piece of information with everybody. Like, check out these fruit. They may not taste the best, but they're a good solid ration.
Kobo, you can also tell if you completely uproot an entire source of food, it'll take a while for it to grow back. So if you leave some, it'll be quicker. But if you take it all, who knows how long until it comes back.
Well, I'm thinking only taking a few myself, but you said
Take a
3 of
few.
them. I generally means 1 standard ration.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and grab 3 of the Menuda fruit until
If everybody takes 3, we'll be at 12, which is only slightly over half.
Yeah, and that way, it can come back.
Okay, I'll take 3. So that's 1 ration, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wrote.
They are very tasteless, but they are very filling. They also look pretty cool. But that's about it.
Okay.
Antidote does state, however, when he's looking around. So, we're supposed to go through this area, but it doesn't seem we can go anywhere. We can perhaps investigate some of the openings in the area, but from what I can tell, it doesn't seem like we have another pathway. Or at least, not what I'm currently seeing.
Gothos will take a rock and throw it into the pool.
You throw a rock, you throw it into the pool, it goes sploosh, then sinks down.
I'm out of ideas.
It doesn't float.
And it doesn't transport to another realm through the pool.
Like, maybe it
It's
does.
nice.
You just can't see it after a while.
I go ahead and try and look right here. I mean, is this where the water's coming from? It's coming out of a source from like a hole here? Or
yeah.
is it just
You can tell it's slow, but it is coming through that area. It won't fill the cave. It won't, like, immediately gush a geyser straight at you. But you do know that the trickling of the water in the environment is coming from that section, moving downwards. This is basically an opening to a calm riverbed, which isn't a bad thing. It's just a weird thing.
Yeah, is that big enough for, like, people to go through? Or is it just a little hole?
If you've ever seen it, it's a small hole, like a slit.
Okay.
Sometimes waterfalls just happen to have that system. Maybe Roswin's bird, but ironically enough, even at your guys' size, you're still too big for it.
Okay. No, just a thought, looking for ways to keep going.
Yeah. Gothos threw a rock, it went sploosh, and it sunk down. After, like, 3 feet, you couldn't see it anymore, which is not uncommon. Kobo, you check the entrance of where the water is coming from. There is an opening, but everyone, for the first time, is too big.
We're too big.
I feel like me not being a cat, not being interested in getting wet, would probably explore over here a little bit.
Fair.
Is there anything in the... Like, what are these stairs going up? Are they going up? There's no exit out of here, right? Other than the one we came through?
Other than the one you came through that's going up this way, there doesn't seem to be another opening. Another cave system. Just sections that have yet to be explored. So when you come in this section, go ahead and roll for me investigation. Because I'm assuming you're taking your time and, like, poking and prodding.
Yeah, investigation you said, right? This one.
Yep.
Yay!
Brr.
I'm like, I don't want to get wet, guys. I'm gonna look over here.
So, you spend a good amount of time investigating the area. About half of the map you explore. You can tell that the bedrocks in the area do seem to be altered. The brownish rocks feel wrong to you, as if they come from a different environment itself, maybe a different layer of the earth, but you can tell that they don't belong here. Usually when that happens, two things are likely to occur. One, something shifted the earth, allowing more or different rock or soil to surface, or two, something was removed to have that same exact process happen. From what you can tell, the rock that you currently see around you, the more brownish rather than red one, feels sleeker than the red stone. When you observe it, you can tell that this is more or less like river rocks that have that kind of slime or sleekness to it. If they were underneath water at a certain point in time, you can tell that they are smoother due to erosion that would likely be caused by water. So, in all ironicness, the water itself does seem to be a vital point in what you're investigating, but the room itself had nothing else to offer. Or at least the section of the room you discovered had nothing else to offer. Unfortunately, you didn't find any hidden treasure.
So it was slick, like it was recently wet, or like repeatedly, or is smooth, like it had been eroded?
Smooth down like it's been eroded, sleek to the point that it was covered in water for some time, but not recently. Like, it
You
was
just said
removed from water.
slimy.
Yeah.
You said slimy at one point, so I was like, slime doesn't last that long.
No, it doesn't. But she rolled a natural 20, dude. It's, I can only describe
so I can see
it
the
and give
residue
you
that
so many
used to be
hints.
slimy.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder about like if there might be like a weak point in them, like if we can look, but I don't know. Otherwise, it just sounds like maybe a flood happened here and there was a tunnel that used to be here, but maybe isn't anymore. I don't know if I'm making too much assumptions though.
That is not far off, so that might be something you might want to look into as you climb a big rock.
I mean, it looks like there might have used to have been a path here because these kind of look like the stairs we came in on.
Yeah.
So we'll check, I guess, head back and be like, guys, the rocks, this place, maybe there might be a tunnel. I don't know, but I'm going to look into some of the edge around here to see if there's any weak points in the cave.
All right. Kobo, what are you doing in the meantime?
I want to get a better look at right here over, because I saw it across the water.
Over here where? I didn't see where you pointed. Oh, yeah. Coming over to the other destination in the area. Again, this is a low light area. You come across and you see what appears to be a divot in the section of wall that you see. It does seem to be an overhang-like structure, but it still possesses a wall in the area. If you're trying to observe or investigate, you can, or just simply looking at it, a perception check. But if you're taking your time, investigation.
I'm going to be investigating, putting my hands on it, touchy-feely, pushing on rocks, seeing what's there.
Investigation.
Woohoo! I found rocks!
You can tell that the sediment in the area does seem to be looser than it more or less should be. That's likely due to weathering, but you're not exactly sure. The overhang-like structure does seem to suggest that at one point in time there was a separate tunnel system around here. Just maybe this wasn't it, or maybe you're just not finding it. Beyond that, though, you can tell that there's some moss in the area that grew and then died out.
Yeah, I found what might be a caved-in tunnel here. I don't know if we can get through it or if it's really the right spot, but it's something to take a closer look at, I think.
Yeah, okay. Real quick though, Rialta said that looked like fallen stairs over there. How high is the ceiling?
The ceiling itself, when you entered inside, from that point, it was 10 feet up. When you're on the ground, farthest points would be 20 feet.
So it's simple enough to see that there's no openings or anything higher above us or in the ceiling.
You know that there's the plateau platforms outside, but beyond that, looking at the sky, you do see some T-shaped stones that go to a point. I honestly blanked on the name, which is why I just described them as T point stones. Stalactites? I think so.
Stalagmites go up, stalactites go down.
Yeah. Beyond that, though, there's like when you look around the top, there doesn't seem to be like a cave system entering inside. No Batman caves to jump into. If it's hidden, it'd be on the ground or on the walls. If it's not hidden, you would be able to see it, but you don't see it. Speaking of which, Gothos, what are you doing? Other than looking at the sky.
Yeah. Well, why don't me and the Bumble twins over here, we'll take a look at something. It would be like Advantage, but we're both terrible at it. I'll take a look at this loose area of stone. We get the loose stone?
Alright, I'm assuming you're taking your time, so go ahead and roll an investigation. Investigating the area, you can tell that the system of sand and sediment does seem to be an eroded tunnel system, but it doesn't go that deep. You can tell that at one point in time, someone was like trying to dig a hole here, or something was trying to dig a hole here, but couldn't exactly find another point. Much like what miners do when something becomes too hard or too unsafe, they collapse a tunnel, which is likely why this overhang system is collapsed, or why the sediment feels different. It became unsafe for the environment to house it, so something or someone collapsed it and then made sure you couldn't get through. It might be something you can go through if you had mold earth and had time, but you're not exactly sure how dangerous that would be.
Yeah, no, it's a prospecting tunnel or something. They collapsed it on purpose. Could be gas, could be monsters. Point is, probably not a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else, or the Wonder Twins over here going to investigate the upper quadrant? What's Toulouse doing over there in that corner? He hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything well.
Toulouse, I'm assuming he's taking his time looking at walls, seeing if there's like a lever or something.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm looking necessarily for a lever, but yeah, I'm looking for any kind of like passage that I think might have been closed up over time, or just like, yeah, if there's a lever and it's hidden, sure. Yeah, I'm definitely taking my time though and checking everything up there.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're doing the Scooby-Doo investigation check, pulling books, pulling rocks.
Oh.
Looking at the environment around you, you can tell you find more of the smooth stones, some of the moss, dead plant sections that are on the stones here and there. You don't seem to find anything missing, but the more and more you investigate the walls, the more of the weathering seems to suggest that further... Oops, wrong tool. Further this way, it becomes more apparent the clues you found, and further this way as well. Beyond that, though, you don't find any overhangs, any collapsed tunnels that you might have explored. But again, you go to a separate section, and I'm assuming everyone's going to investigate that area. So go ahead, everyone, and roll investigation.
We'll find it eventually.
Sometimes you just gotta look at. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, no, I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed today. Got some sunlight, feeling good. We killed a dinosaur.
Is Kobo not going to roll?
I'm trying. Hold on.
No problem.
Got dust in my eyes, guys.
Investigating the site, looking around you, looking at the walls, looking at the structured form, you can tell everyone at this point that the rocks in the area, the ones that are discolored, do seem to be off. As Toulouse mentioned, there's some sleekness to some of them. Kobo and Gothos, you can tell that. You can tell that there's weathering and erosion that should not have happened unless there's water or wind in the area. So that much of itself is a concern. Everyone can tell that there's some moss that had grown at one point or another and then died due to lack of moisture in the air, which causes some of it to be sleeker than it should be. You can tell the walls themselves have no openings. Exploring, you can discover that there are some collapsed tunnels that Kobo has found, but nothing that you can get through without a lot of time and potential danger. The rocks seem to be the only real concern that you're wondering about. If this place was filled with water, how and for what reason? And why was it removed? Looking back on things, Toulouse and Gothos, you then begin to realize. Kobo mentioned that there's an opening of water, or an opening that allows water through. Kobo mentioned that the water seems brighter than it should be, and that felt off, but not so off that it couldn't be explained. Toulouse.
Yeah, so
Looking at things, since you rolled the highest, can confirm that there's something in the water that you unfortunately have to investigate.
So I have to investigate the water.
I was thinking we either have to go in the water or potentially maybe even flood the chamber a little bit. We just plug the area where it's going out, water comes up, this place goes back to where the water level was, something happens, I don't know.
Alright, I'll go ahead and bite the bullet. I go ahead and drop my pack and, take off.
Okay, well, hold on there, swimmy pants. Let's get a rope around you.
Alright. I take off my backpack and, anything that I don't really want to get wet. And I'll go ahead and dive in the water and investigate the bright spot down there and where the light's coming from.
With a rope around his waist.
Yeah, so that you guys can pull me out.
Alright, once again, after roughly reaching around 5 feet deep, Gothos and Toulouse lose track, but the water and rope remain strong. You still feel a tug and pull when Kobo goes deeper, and Kobo, I want you to go ahead and roll for me a Constitution saving throw.
It's a good thing you're a sorcerer. Oh, very nice.
As you begin to move deeper and deeper into the water, you can tell after a while, this is a very deep river opening. Although it is slow, you can go through and move further about. But as you reach roughly 25 feet, you feel a sensation of shifting weight in your stomach and in yourself that it almost collapses your held breath. But you hold on strong and you make sure to move with the current and wave and the shifting tide. And then you feel as if you're upside down, but also right side up at the exact same time. You then begin to swim up, which is still technically down, I'm making you guys likely confused, but don't worry about it.
I think I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then, as you swim up, you get to the surface and you're in a completely different tunnel system. I'm just gonna show you it since you technically did it correctly. Right here.
Righty then.
You're technically here, but off screen.
Is there anywhere I can tie the rope off?
You only moved roughly 30 feet in, so you still have like 50-foot rope. So technically 20 feet.
Okay, I just getting out of the water. I just need like a rock or something right next to the water.
Yeah,
or
there's a
something,
rock.
you know, right where. Yeah, and I go ahead and untie myself and tie the rope to the rock, and then I'm going to go back through, holding on to the rope and using it as a guideline, and I can pull myself through the water faster.
Alright, Gothos, after a while, you don't feel a tug anymore, so you assumed they got somewhere. However, the tug kind of feels off. There's still hold, there's still tension. There's just no enhanced tension or movement whatsoever. After a while, you
Okay.
get concerned, but it doesn't take long for Kobo to come back. Thankfully enough,
Okay.
the rope trick does help the weird feeling, so you don't have to make this save again.
Yeah, what
As
do you
I-
got on the other side there?
As I break the surface, I say, it's like a magic gate. It brings you out at another pool, but it's kind of like an upside down, you know, like it seems upside down, but right side up. If we go straight down through the surface of this water, we'll come out at another right side up place.
Makes about as much sense as anything else in the place.
Yeah.
Anyway, I tied
Alright.
the rope off so we can all follow it, and it should be easy enough to pull yourselves faster than just swimming, but we're getting wet.
Alright, all you guys go in first, and then me and Tannhauser go last to help us pull.
Okay, so you're going to tie the rope around you, so when we all get up, we'll have to help pull you and Tannhauser?
Yeah, and if it's
Okay.
just like a tunnel, Tannhauser can spider climb along it.
Unfortunately, it's not like a tunnel.
Curses. Well, worst case scenario, I just resummon her.
I mean, as long as you're following the rope, you should be fine.
And if you tie the rope around yourself on this end and we all get to the other end, then we can all just pull the rope and help drag you through a little faster.
Yeah. So I'm an anchor for you guys, and then you guys pull me. Sounds
Yep.
good.
Okay. Toulouse, are you going into the water?
That was gonna be my idea, was to be the last one, so you guys could just drag me through really quick. But
Wait a second.
Tannhauser has sticky legs. You can try and come with.
Okay, if not, you can just hold on to my back and I can pull you through.
Like,
And don't worry, when we get to the other side, I can dry off nice and quick.
your explorers
Okay.
packs, your adventurers kits, all that's weathered and weatherproof. So as long as you don't stay in the water forever, it'll be fine.
yeah, and I have prestidigitation, so when I get on the other side, I can just drop myself off. But I just don't want to get in the water. Is it at least warm?
Yeah, is the water warm or cold?
It's a mild temperature. It's neither cold nor warm. It's like when you leave water in the middle of the room because you were gonna drink it, but then forgot.
Okay, I'll stay real close to Kobo and keep my hand on him so I can pull myself along with him. And
yeah, it sounds good. Toulouse, he simply grabs onto Kobo while they bolt straight through the water as fast as possible. Kobo, you've run through this before. You're fine with the Constitution save. Toulouse, go ahead and give me a Constitution save with advantage thanks to the rope.
Constitution. Constitution.
Nice.
Advantage.
As you move through the water, you can tell that you're almost getting a sense of vertigo, which is never great when you're in the water.
I'm a
'Cause it'll
cat. I'm
likely-
supposed to always land on my feet. No.
Yeah. That and also for the fact that you might drown in case you panic.
I'm like, what is this feeling? Oh God, why do you guys have to deal with this?
So basically, with your paws, Toulouse, he simply sinks it into Kobo's back, which allows you to move faster and further. And you're fine. Thankfully enough, all your companions make it through. And Toulouse, you know the sensation, so if for some reason you decide to go the opposite way, you can now. Gothos, currently your team has all made it through. Or at least, at the very least, no one has come back.
Alright, I will wait a reasonable amount of time, make sure the rope is tied securely to Tannhauser's saddle, and give it a firm couple of tugs, and then go on in.
Okay. As you begin to tie it around Tannhauser, you get a plucking sensation on the rope. 4 of them. Roswin on the other side basically signals you. You don't know who's signaling you, but obviously someone would know to do that. So Tannhauser basically jumps in. You jump in turn. At the point in time, go ahead and give me a con save. With the rope's help, you get advantage. Oh, so does Tannhauser have a swimming speed?
I'm pretty sure it's just climbing.
Yeah, okay.
So it's as fast as we can pull him through the water.
Yeah. I mean, if everyone's doing it, he just needs to make the save and they should be fine. Okay. Go ahead and give me Tannhauser's con save as well, with advantage.
Uh-oh. With advantage. Uh-oh.
Thankfully enough, when Tannhauser fails and basically goes backwards when you're going forwards, they lose their breath, but thankfully enough, the team is pulling them out as fast as possible. So when they get out, they begin to breathe heavily, but they survive. Luckily enough, you specifically mentioned Tannhauser's the one that got tied up.
Yep, I was thinking about that. I was like, I got a good constitution one. A spider probably does. Oh yeah, Tannhauser. Oh, that's rough. Oh, you know, it's hard swimming for spiders. They got all these little hairs, makes them really buoyant, wobbly.
Yeah, I can feel the pain there. I pet Tannhauser with sympathy.
As the team makes it out, whoever had the rope retrieves it. Toulouse is dry thanks to precipitation, and likely dries the rope as well. The riverbed, currently off screen, is still there if for some reason you want to go back, but you do know that this is the correct way. As you make your way through this area, you can tell that there is wildlife here that is not normal. Quite literally, the environment around you seems to be encircled by weird fungal plants. The size, 2 times the size of you, which is not an uncommon thing to see, but in so much amount is. You might be closer than you think to your destination, but one thing is definitely sure. I am not going to advance the storyline since Rosalind isn't here. So for today, you managed to survive. And for now, one thing is definitely sure. Whether you go back or forwards, You're definitely going down the right path as we end the session for today.